You know what's weird? We obsess over boomers hoarding houses. We analyze millennials crying about student loans. Gen Z gets entire think pieces about side hustles. But there's this whole generation quietly sitting in the middle, managing money in the strangest way possible. And nobody talks about them. My name is Ronald, and I used to think Gen X was just stuck between two louder generations. If you've ever wondered why your Gen X coworker has $50,000 saved but drives a 15-year-old Toyota, subscribe to Ronald's Deals, because their money psychology is completely unlike any other generation. And it all traces back to one specific moment that broke their brains in the most interesting way. Here's the question nobody asks. What happens when an entire generation watches the formula stop working? Here's what nobody tells you. Gen X watched the biggest betrayal in modern economic history happen in real time. Picture 1983. Your dad deposits his paycheck at the same bank, same company, for 15 years. Pension waiting. Mortgage paid off in 12 years. The formula works. Flash forward to 2008. You're 35. You followed every rule. And you just watched your 401k cut in half, your home value crater, your secure company laying off 20-year employees. The formula was a lie. Here's the actual mechanism. According to the 2023 Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies, 70% of Gen X say they're terrified about retirement, but they also have the second highest 401k contribution rates of any generation. They don't believe it'll work, but they do it anyway. Psychologists call this defensive pessimism. Assume everything explodes, so you prepare obsessively. But here's where it gets crazy. Federal Reserve data shows they have higher rates of self-employment and secondary income than boomers and millennials. But most keep their day jobs. They're not trying to quit the 9-to-5. They're building escape tunnels while keeping the main exit open. Your Gen X neighbor isn't flipping houses because they love real estate. They're doing it because they watched Bob from accounting get walked out with a cardboard box after 20 years. That anxiety when you realize one income source isn't safe? That's by design. Gen X learned institutions lie, so they never depend on just one. It's not ambition. It's insurance. So that weird Gen X behavior you thought was contradictory? It's really about survival in an economy that changed the rules mid-game. And now you know what most people figure out too late. The system promised them security, then pulled the rug out. They're not pessimists. They're realists who've been burned too many times. The real question is, will you trust the formula? Or build your own escape tunnels before you need them?